Cool. So the first thing that you need to understand when it comes to identifying, okay, by the way, I'm going to use TradingView. I know yesterday I said I'm going to use MT4. The reason I'm using TradingView is simply because I identify my levels on TradingView, and I've grown so accustomed and so good at identifying my levels on TradingView that I just I use MT4, but I use MT4 literally for my trading. Like once I've seen my identify my levels, I've done my analysis, I then jump onto my other desktop and place my trade on the MT4. And I also look at the template for added confirmations of the trade I'm about to enter. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to be using TradingView, but I would also, whenever necessary, use MT4 as well. So because you guys should be using MT4. I mean, Brian gave you guys an incredible template to use, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be taking advantage of that template. But using the same principles I'm going to show you right now on TradingView, you can apply it on MT4 with the template that Brian gave you in order to identify these levels. Now, the first thing to understand, I'm just going to go to another reason I like TradingView is you can do a lot more with it. Like you can draw stuff on it. Let me just mute this stuff because you don't need it for now. Okay, so what are levels? Like that's the first question that you need to really have a confident answer to. You know, what are levels? You know, levels really and truly is just a structure. Levels is a structure that the market has and has been known to have for a very long time. And as trading, because the market is a very dynamic environment, right? It's a very dynamic environment. You know, a lot of things happen. So as traders, one of our top priorities is to give structure to what is going on. Because by giving structure to what's going on, you know, we're able to identify movements and anticipate movements, which allows us to essentially enter enter the market at the right time and also exit the market at the right time. So the levels that we are identifying is, of course, coming from the market maker cycle. So if you guys remember the market maker cycle, it looks something like this. You know, we have a consolidation, then we have a stopper, and then we have this, right? Now, just really embed this pattern into your psyche. It's a very important pattern. Now, levels works like this. So when we're identifying levels, we're usually going from what we call an anchor, okay? So this part is called an anchor. Now, the moment that an anchor is formed, right? The moment that an anchor is formed, that is the moment that we begin to start counting our levels. If you don't have an anchor, you don't have any levels. Like the anchor is the lowest point the price would be for that week or for that day. So you need to have an anchor, okay? And I'm going to show you guys the characteristics of an anchor, because anchors comes in different variations, different shapes, different sizes. We have some anchors that looks like this W that I've just drawn here, you know, very beautiful right in your face. You have some anchors that are very ugly. You know, they sort of look like a W, but a demented W. You know, so you got to learn to identify anchors in different shapes and sizes. But this is ideally what an anchor would look like, right? It looks like a very neat, you know, W, which of course you guys will understand the psychology behind these movements. You know, this is a money-making move. It's not just the alphabet. Now, once your anchor is formed and price pulls away, so we call it a shift. There's usually a strong shift away from the low. So this is the low, this is the lowest point, LOW. So this is the lowest point price. So it's usually a shift away from the lowest point. Now, once your shift has happened, you now have what is known as level one. Okay? So that's your level one. Now, what happens is this. Now, the next day, usually, now your levels are going to be identified over a succession of days, right? So we're going to have day one, level one has taken place. So, you know, across 2 days, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you guys how to identify these levels properly. But once you have your level one, this is how we count our levels. We count our levels from consolidation to consolidation. So after the first level, you're going to have a consolidation. Price moves into a period of consolidation. And then you're going to have sometimes, not always, you're going to have another stop hunt to the low, an inducement to the low, and then they take price away for another level. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you now have levels two. This is now a second level. Now, once you have your second level, price goes back into a period of consolidation, right? And then you have another, sometimes, but not always, but you get it. Sometimes you can get something called a straightaway trade, where price literally moves straight away without any stop ons or anything like that. Just straight away moves into your third level, and we call this level 3. Now, what happens at the third level? You have something called a peak formation. So at the third level, you have a peak formation where the highest point of this trend cycle is identified, right? And then, a peak formation forms. Now, what happens after level 3? I'll show you guys later on. There's 2 things that could happen. The first thing that could happen is this. The market makers may want to carry on the trend. They may want to carry on pushing price, upwards. So what's going to happen is there's going to be what is called a reset where they balance their books. Because remember this, when price is being pushed upwards, they're selling to the market and the market is buying from them. So they need to balance their book by obviously correcting by at least one level. Now, once the books are balanced, you have something called a reset. Okay, so you usually have a reset take place. Now, once you have your reset that has taken place, then you now go back into level 1, and then the cycle begins again into level 2 and into level 3. Okay, so all that makes sense for you guys. That is one scenario that will take place. Now, a second scenario is rather than getting a reset, you'd have price come back down, and this would now be your new level 1. So level 3 becomes level 1. And then you have another consolidation, stop onto the high, price goes down into level 2. And then you have the cycle repeat itself down into level 3. Now, when you're counting your levels, there's something I want you guys to remember. I want you guys to remember this. Just write this down if you can. WVVM. WVVM. Now, what is WVVM? So WVVM it allows you to keep track of your levels, just the shape that you're going to see. So on the first anchor, you're going to have a W. So on the anchor, you're going to have a W. And then level 1, you want to see a V bottom. So it will look like a W, yes, 100%. But you want to see a V bottom. And then level 2, you want to see another V bottom. And then at the top, you want to see an M. So WVVM. This is your upward trending cycle. And once your levels have been identified, once you've identified where you are, you need to understand this, guys. Always trade in the direction of the trend. Never trade against the trend. Once you have your level 1s, the position you should be looking for is to go long. Once you have your level 2, again, in level 2, you can trade both ways. You can trade up, you can trade down. But again, trade in the direction of the trend until your next peak formation. Now, the same thing, and it is exactly the same thing in the inverse direction, where price comes out of a period of consolidation and forms an anchor to the top side. So it forms a big M structure. Now, once you have a shift away from the high, you're going to have level 1. So before you can start counting your levels, you need to be able to identify your anchors. Now, once you've identified level 1, you want to now look for a period of consolidation, and then you probably look for another stop point to the high, and price then goes into level 2. Okay, once you have that, you're going to do this. You're going to see exactly the same thing. You're going to see a period of consolidation, and you might get a straightaway trade into level 3. So a straightaway move. So there isn't a stop on price, just moves straight away into level 3, and it does happen, right? You wouldn't always get a stop on it. There's enough volume, because the open of a stop on is to gather contracts. But if you already have what the contracts that they need, you get a straightaway trade. Now, after level 3, you then have a peak formation low, forming the low point, and then it goes back. And again, this could be back into level one, and then you have consolidation, and then you have level two, consolidation, and then you have level three, and then it closes into Asia. Okay. Now, can you guys see the market maker cycle in these levels? Right, this is the market maker cycle flipped on the other side. Now, here's another thing you need to make sure of. Now, another thing I wanted you guys to memorize for the downtrending cycle is M. So remember WVVM for the uptrending cycle, MAAW for the downtrending cycle, or MVVW. But it's supposed to be an upside down V, but don't worry about that. But M is the first part of your trend, which is the anchor. And then you have A, and then you have another A, and then you have W. This is your downtrending cycle. Okay? So now, what time scale are you referring to? So, Brad, I'm just referring to the general structure of a trend. And this can happen at any cycle. Like we mentioned, the market is a fractal environment. So I'm going to actually show you guys what I mean, and you guys are going to be blown away. Like, you're going to see this on any time frame, any time frame. I'm not referring to a specific time frame right now. I'm referring to the structure. And you can identify the structure on any time frame, but you just need to understand the structure first, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I've shown you guys the structure. I'm going to show you guys how to identify the structure. Okay, so let me just delete all of this. So now, what is meant by the market is fractal? Well, it's very simple. Whatever you see on the daily, you're going to see on the 4 hours, you're going to see on the 1 hour, you're going to see on the 15 minutes, and you're also going to see on the 1 minute. That's what I mean by the market is fractal. So the daily time frame is also going through the level 1 to level 3 cycle. The 1 hour time frame is also going through level 1 to level 3. The H4 time frame is also going through its cycle. And what you need to understand is every single one of these cycles would lead into each other. So the daily cycle would lead into the 4 hour cycle, would lead into the 15-minute cycle. That's one of the reasons why for someone that wants to be a long-term trader, you'd want to focus on identifying the cycle on the 4 hours and the daily time frame. If you want to hold positions for weeks on end. If you just want to be a day trader and you just want to be able to get in and get out of positions within a 24 hours period, then of course your focus is to identify the cycle on the H1 and the M15 time frame. But what you need to do from day one is you need to be able to identify the cycle from any given time frame. So here's what we're going to do first. So I've already done my analysis. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of my analysis and I'm going to do it with you guys again. So this is my analysis of the different levels. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I look for when I'm identifying my levels, okay? So just give me a minute. I'm just getting rid of the unnecessary mess. All right, so this is the daily time frame for pound Aussie dollar, okay? So this is what I traded today. Now, I'm going to delete all of this. It's a shame, but I'm going to delete it just for you guys, all right? Now, this is the daily time frame, okay? So this is showing price movement. Each candlestick represents a day of price activity, okay? So this is a long-term picture of price movement. Like down here is in May 2017. This is August in this region, August 2018, 28th of May. So this is the long-term movement of price that has been taking place over a period of time. So now, the first thing when I'm identifying levels is I look for my most previous anchor point. I look for a peak formation low. Now, how do I know this is an anchor? Number one is the lowest point on the chart since a long time. right? Number two, if I go on the RSI, like I said, this area is going to be at a very low point on the RSI. RSI is going to be around RSI is at a 15% level at this region. So my RSI is in an extreme low area. So this is another evidence of a peak formation. So this is my peak formation low. Okay, this is my ankle. Now, when we've identified an ankle, the first thing is identify level one coming out of the ankle. Identify level one coming out of the ankle. Now, this is where your moving averages comes in. Now, I know level one has taken place. How? I know level one has taken place when I see this. When I see the 13 and when I see the 50 moving averages cross over, I know level one has taken place. So this is the crossover I'm looking for down here. I'm looking for this moving average crossover of the 13, which is the red, or we call that the ketchup, and the 50, which is the blue, or we call that the water. Now, I've seen this crossover here coming out of my peak formation, going up into the high. So for me, this is, I've identified what could potentially be a level one move. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a box from the highest point. So this is so guys, I'm going to show you guys something. Now, the 13 EMA is going to be your best friend when it comes to identifying the levels. The reason being is because whenever price, so let's look at this, right? This is, and by the way, guys, this is a rule of thumb, but this is not a rule, like a script you should always be following. The reason why trading is a skill set that not every single person has been able to master is because, yes, you're going to learn some hardcore principles, but at the same time, you need to be able to apply common sense, when needed. So let's imagine that this is your 13 EMA, okay? So your 13 EMA, which is red. Now, coming out of your 13 EMA is price. So we've had, your W pattern that's taking place, right? Coming out of your 13. Now, here's what's going to happen. When price comes up above the 13, comes down and closes below the 13, for me, this is how I identify the end of the level. So this is the highest point of level one into the lowest point of level one, and where price probably consolidate from a W and then move up into the next level. And then probably come down and close below the 13 EMA. Now, for me, this is a confirmation that this level has ended. So for me, this is now the highest point of level two. So this is how I identify my level. So I will then draw a box. So for me to identify level one, I identify levels based off the consolidation. That's how I identify levels. I identify levels based off the consolidation. So I'll go from the highest point to the lowest point of where level one is. Now that is now my level one box. So this is my level one consolidation. So I'm going to label this as level one, right? Again, I'm going to do the same thing for level two. Level two begins here. This is the highest point level two reached. It came down and it closed below the 13 EMA from the pattern and took it away into another level. Now this is the highest point. So I'm going to draw a box from there to there. This is now for me level two. Now, once prices escape, so for a new level to be formed, it needs to leave the highest point. So you see the highest point of the previous level before you can say it is now a new level. So price has left the highest point of this box and has gone into a new high. Now, when it forms something that looks like a peak formation, comes back down and closes below my 13 EMA, then this would now be my level 3 confirmation. So for me, this is level 3. Right? So that's how I've used moving average. So the first moving average that you need to understand is the red, which is the 13 EMA. Now, the second moving average you need to understand is the blue moving average. The blue is the 50 EMA. Now, here's how the blue will help you to confirm your levels. The blue coming out of the peak formation and crossing over, this is your confirmation that level 1 is taking place. This is your lock. So when you have your 13 and you have your 50 cross over, this is your confirmation that your level is now taking place. This is your first confirmation that you need, okay? Now, for the duration of the level movement, it doesn't matter what the blue does, but here's what you need to understand. The blue line is going to go up, and again, it's going to come down. Now, from level 2, you know level 2 has begun. Once it's crossed the red, and once you also get a crossover of the blue, then you know this is your new level, and it's going to do the same thing. So this is where level 1 is identified, right here. So I'm going to go to now my chart, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I just showed you. So I've identified my first level down here, which is the crossover of the 50 and the 30 EMA. So this move that you can see here is my level 1 move. That's the highest point it reached before coming down and closing below the 30 EMA. So I'm going to take this point from there to there. This is my level 1 consolidation. I'm going to label that L1. Again, price then came up and it left this area up until this point before coming down and closing below the region. So I'm going to take that box from that point to the lowest point before reversing back. This is now my level 2 consolidation. Now, and a confirmation that your level 2 has taken place, the level 2 lock is the crossover between your 200 EMA and your 50 EMA. When you see your 200 and your 50 EMA crossover, this is your confirmation that level 2 is locked in place. So you're looking for the crossover of the 200 and the 50 EMA. So in level 1 lock, we had the crossover of the 13 and the 50. In level 2 lock, we had a crossover of the 200 and the 50 EMA. Okay? Now, moving into level 3. Once price comes out of this box region, and you can see it doesn't just hover and come back in. It moves by at least half of the ADR of the previous level into a new region, and it comes back down below the 13. This is now my level 3. Again, what is my confirmation for level 3? Now, there are 3 different confirmations for level 3. So I'm going to write this up for you guys. So these are the moving average confirmations. So now, okay. For level 1, you're looking for 13 to 50 to cross. Level 2, you're looking at 50 to 200 to cross. Level 3, you're looking at 50 and 800, or 200 and 800, or for the EMAs to be all found out. Now that's a lot of conditions, right? So let me just reiterate what I just wrote down. So level 1, you're looking at the 13 and the 50 to cross over, which has happened down here. Level 2, you're looking at 50 and 200 to cross over, which is down here. and level 3, you're looking at 50 and the 800. So you're looking at either the water and the purple line, which is the blueberry. We're looking at the water and the purple to cross, which it actually did at level 3. So when level 3 was taking place, this locked in level 3 down here. So it did happen. Or you're looking for the 200 and 800. So you're looking for the white EMA and the purple EMA to cross, which it didn't happen, right? Because we've had a 50 and the 800 cross. Or you're looking for the EMAs to be found out. So what does it mean by EMAs being found out? EMAs being found out is when you have something like this, where all the EMAs are very wide apart, right? You have a big separation between the moving averages, right? It's not all that found out at this level. There isn't a lot of acceleration, but I'm going to show you guys a proper example of EMAs being found out when I come across them. So this is level 1 into level 2 into level 3 using moving averages. I haven't even gone through TDI yet. I don't need TDI for now. So the TDI allows you to compare. You have a W outside the band, inside the band, based on what we taught you guys. So guys, this is your anchor, right? This is the W right here.
Walter, can I ask something?
Yeah, go for it.
Walter?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
So the bottom of level 3, how did you determine that?
Where?
Okay, the bottom of level 3, how did you determine that?
So you mean this anchor point in the red box? Or do you mean at the top? Hello? Okay, so how do I know the bottom? How do you draw the bottom of the level 3 rectangle? Perfect. So now for me, this is level 3. So I'm going to get to how to identify the bottom of the level in a second, because what I'm looking at is where price dropped below the 13. Guys, can you hear me clearly, by the way? No, I know exactly what Carl meant. So how do I determine that this rectangle should be right here? Why shouldn't it be right here? Why shouldn't it be right here? Why is this the bottom? Why isn't this the bottom, right? So I'm going to show you guys why I put it down. This is not a permanent spot, okay? I put it down here because that's where I saw the price close below the 13 EMA, and it actually came back up, right? And it closed above and sort of tested it. But another thing that I was able to identify was this. So this is what I was looking at. This is why I drew the box right there. I saw this crossover. I saw my 13 and 50 crossover. Now, what is the significance of 13 and 50 crossover? Especially coming out of the level 3, especially coming out of what could be an anchor. It could potentially be a level 1 move. So I'm going to, like, just imagine, I don't know about any of this. I don't know about any of this action, right? This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the present time, right? And this is present, and I've seen this 13 and 50 EMA cross. Well, guess what? I'm going to treat that as level 1 for the time being until I'm proven wrong. So if I treat this as level 1, what does that mean? It means that my level 1 consolidation, my level one has the lowest point right here, and it comes up to consolidate to this point before dropping again. So what am I going to do? I'm going to draw a box from there to there. Now this is my level 1 consolidation. Right, it's my level 1 consolidation. One second. So this is my level 1 consolidation. Now, what happens is this, price then drops. Now, you can't see blue here. Right. Now, what happens is this. price then comes out of the box, comes out of my window, comes out of the consolidation and drops down and then closes above there. So now what's going to happen is this. There's two things I'm going to be thinking now, right? So I'm going to take price from the low. I'm going to take it to obviously around this region where it goes above. And I could treat this as a level 2. I could treat this as a level 2, but I'm not going to treat it as a level 2. The reason for that is because this is now what could be a new anchor. So when I see something like this, so I've had level 1, level 2, level 3, right? And I see an M form and I see a price drop. Now, there's two things that could happen, right? To see price drop for 3 more levels. Alternatively, I could see price form a new anchor down here. This is a new anchor down here, and then rise for another 3 levels, continue for another 3 levels. And usually this drop is a 1-level drop. So the drop will be a 1-level drop. So what you can see here is this. From level 3, it drops back into level 2. So this is actually now meeting the criteria of what could be an anchor. So now what I'm looking at is this to actually be the anchor for a new level, for a new move towards the high side. So I'm going to draw a box around this. Now let's imagine that I didn't know that it came down. So this is actually a 2 leg. So this is a W, right? So this is an anchor down here, 1, 2, and then it takes it away, right? But how would I know the price is going to come down to give me a second leg? I don't know that, right? I don't know price. Let's say at the time, this is all I can see. I don't know price is going to come down to give me a second leg. But I'm going to look at the rules of my anchor. Let me tell you guys the number 1 rule of an anchor, okay? When price is going to anchor, it would usually anchor on the 200 EMA, on the 800 EMA. So it anchor on the EMA on the 50, on the 200, or the 800 EMA, right? So price would re-anchor on these moving averages. Now, what I can see is price is now anchored on all 3 moving averages, the major moving averages. The 50, the 200, and the 800 is reset on these moving averages. So now this is a reset. A reset is when they're just balancing their books because they've lost a lot of money, yet they've taken back a lot of that volume from traders that either haven't booked their profit, they set a tight stop loss, they're over leveraged, they got in late on the upward move, they balance their books. So this is now a reset. Okay, it's now a reset. Now, once the reset has taken place, what are we looking for? We're looking for a level 1, for a level 1 price to come out and form a level 1 move. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for price to come out and form a level 1 move. So that confirmation happens when I get the crossover of the 50 and the 13 EMA. And again, I'm going to take price from the highest point it reached before it went back below the 13, and I'm going to take it to the lowest point. This is my level 1 consolidation. Right, it's my level 1 consolidation. Now, what's happened is this. Price came out of level 1, right? Came out of level 1, and then it came back and closed below my 13, and it went all the way back down. Went all the way back down. Now, this is the lowest point price reached in the reset. And this is very important you guys understand this, right? So this is the lowest point price reached in the reset. It's a very significant point. Now, is this still a valid level 2? Is this still a valid level 2? Yes, it is. So all of this is, for me, a valid level 2 consolidation. Why? Why is this a valid level 2? Because it never broke the low. This is the lowest point price reached. They trapped below it. This is called a money grab move. They grabbed the money, they grabbed the contract below this lowest point because a lot of people would have had their stop loss, their pending orders, a breakout traders would probably have pending there. They had the money grab, but they never closed below it. They never closed below it. They never broke the anchor. They never broke my reset. They never broke the lowest point. And that's very important because look at this, guys. Once you have your anchor has been set, right? Once you have your anchor has been set, you have level one rise and they bring price down, right? And it takes you to level two, but they bring price all the way back down to retest, but they never break the lowest point set by the anchor and they take it away. Guess what? This is still a valid level two. It's still a valid level two. Level two. Now, what am I looking for? I'm anticipating another move on the upside. I'm anticipating price to break this box. I want to see a clear level from this box, another move up. Do I get it? Yes, I do. Right? I get it right here. I get another level move away from my level two consolidation. So guess what? This is now my level three. So this move here is now my level three. It comes up above the 13, it goes back, and it closes below the 13. This is level three for me. Okay? Now, once that's identified, I've identified my levels, I've had my 15, I've had my 15 crossover with my 50, my 30 crossover with my 50, I've had my 200 crossover to lock in my level three, right? So I've had my crossovers and I've had the EMA fan out. So this is an example of the EMAs fanning out. Can you see this? This is an example of a level three. This is the EMA. Look how wide, look how much space is between all the moving averages. So this is a level three fanning out of the EMA because there's a lot of acceleration toward the high. And that's what caused all the EMAs to fan out and separate. So as it met our conditions in terms of our moving averages, yes, it has. Now, once I've identified my, guys, bear in mind, this is the daily chart, right? The daily is going through its own cycle, it's going through its own levels, right? So once I've identified my levels on my daily, what am I next going to do? I'm going to go on my H4, right? So my daily is black. So I'm going to go to my most recent level, which is level 3. I'm going to go to my 4-hour chart. Now, if you want to do this, like if you really want to drain this practice inside of you, I would recommend go back to the previous levels and identify all the way back. But what I'm going to do just to save time, I'm only going to identify on my 4 hours, right, from my level 3 box. So now, in this level 3 box, this has its own levels, right? This is going through its own levels. What do I have down here? I have a reset down here. This is a reset, right on the 200 EMA. What I said about reset, they usually take place on the 200, on the 800, and on the 200 and 50 EMA. So I have a reset down here. So now this is my reset from whatever level it was on the H4. I'm not going to go all the way back, right? If you look on the, guys, if you look even on the TDI, what can you see? You can see outside the band, inside the band, outside the band, confirmed double, right? I will taught you guys in the workshop. Now, once I have my confirmed entry, I'm looking for a level 1 move. Now, what's my confirmation of the level 1 move? My confirmation is the crossover of the 13 and the 50, of the 13 and the 50 EMAs. Once I've got that, I know that I have a solid level 1. It goes up and it comes in high there. It doesn't come back below my 13. That's okay. That's okay. This is a consolidation zone. This is a level 1 consolidation. It's a level 1 consolidation. Because there's a lot of understanding, guys. This is, we're identifying levels within the level 3 of the H1. So there's a lot of acceleration in price in this area. There's a lot of acceleration. So moving averages are like super wide apart. That's okay. But there's still levels, right? So we have level 1, and then we have level 2. So level 2 comes all the way up here, comes dips below my moving average. So this is my level 2, all the way from there to there, right? Level 2. And then we have level 3 coming out of level 2. right? And then it comes down and it forms and closes below, right? So this is my level 3 form. Now, what happens after level 3? Two things. You can either get a reset, right? You can either get a reset, or price then goes all the way back up. So Power has a question. A second. Yeah, so price hasn't closed below the catch-up, but this is where common sense comes into play. Price doesn't, like I said, these are rules, but these are not rules that will always, like the market is an imperfect environment, right? So this is a level 1. Why is this a level 1? Number 1, because price interacted with that, it closed below my 13, but there was a lot of interaction with my 13 EMA. So for me, like, because I've seen these levels so many times. So with my trained eyes, for me, this is a clear level 1. All that interaction with the 13, this is the consolidation. Look how price just literally just in the zone consolidated, right? It's a consolidation zone, guys. Like, this is, that's what we're looking for at the end of the day, right? We're looking for consolidations after the level, because that's what helps us to identify a level. So it's a consolidation zone, right? And then there's here. Now, here we have a clear close below the 13. Fantastic. It meets one of the criteria that we set. So we have a close below the 13. That's another level. That's level 2. And then it goes back up, and then it forms a level 3 peak, and then it comes down and it closes below. Now, all of this is my level 3 consolidation. So what am I looking for? Now I'm looking for either a reset, or I'm looking for price to carry on, to come downwards. So I'm looking for a level 1 on the downside that will confirm a level 1 is level 2, level 3, a reset. Now, what do I get on the 50 EMA right here? I get a reset. I get a reset, right? Look at this. We have 3 vector candles down. We have a close above. We have a close below. We have a close above. Done. To confirm that, that's a confirmed W. This is a reset pattern, right? So confirmed W is a reset pattern. So we have a big, massive reset right on the 50 EMA, below the 50 EMA. Now my reset is now confirmed. What am I looking for to confirm my level 1? I'm looking for my 50 and my 13 to cross over. Do I get that? Yes, I do, right here. I get my 50 and my 13 cross over right there. This is all level 1 for me. Now, what am I looking for? Interaction with my 13 EMA close below. So this is the highest point of level 1, came down, level 2. This is my level 1 consolidation zone. I'm looking for price to leave that region to form a clear level 2. So it's level 1 consolidation zone. Now what happens is this. Price leaves that region, comes up, and it comes all the way back down here. Now guys, guess what? Does it break the low of my reset? No, it doesn't. Is this a valid level 2? Yes, it is. So this is a valid level 2. This is a valid level 2. So this is level 1. Comes down. This is level 1. This is level 2. Approximately 1 ADR. It's level 1, level 2. Okay? And then level 2 comes all the way down here. It's my level 2 consolidation. And this is where people sometimes, they get confused, right? But if you know, like, you got to learn, like, as a trader, you need to be flexible in the way you're thinking. You're rigid, but you need to be flexible because the market is dynamic. So you need to be dynamic as well. But you need to understand how to identify these structures within a dynamic, within the dynamics of the market. Now, once you have level 2, it goes into level 3. This is a level 3 peak. The level 3 peak down here. Level 3 comes up, it peaks up, comes in M, and it closes below the M. Guess what? The level 3 right here. The level 2, level 3. Now, when you're actually identifying these levels in the market condition, it's not always going to look as pretty as the pictures. It's not always going to be as pretty as the pictures. Even when they're taking place in real life, it's not always going to be as pretty as the pictures. This is one of the reasons why when we're teaching you the signature trades, these trades are going to come with hard-fast rules on your entry and your exit conditions. And if you follow these rules, you're going to know exactly when to get in and exactly when to get out. Now, guess what? What happens after level 3? We have massive acceleration all the way down. Now, I'm going to teach you guys something called ADR. ADR stands for average daily range. On the MetaTrader 4 template you guys have, if you look on the top left-hand side, you're going to, or the top right-hand side, you're going to see something called ADR. ADR is the average range that price moves, right, on a day-to-day basis. But understand this, I'm looking at the H4. So I'm looking at price. I don't care about the ADR right now, but I care about the levels, right? But check this out. From year to year is level 3 to level 3. You see this move? This is not level 1. All of this is not level 1. I'm going to show you guys why in a second. Like, yes, I get my crossover right here. This is called a variation to the theme. I get my 1350 crossover, which is confirmation of level 1 lock. I get my 5200 crossover, which is confirmation of level 2 lock. And guess what else I get? I get I get the finding out of the EMAs, which is my level 3 confirmation. So I get all 3 confirmations, which shows me that all 3 levels are taking place. Now, the levels, none of them actually broke through the 13 EMA. But check this out. I'm looking for this interaction. That's level 1. That's level 2. Comes down into level 3, right? So this is a full level move. And trust me, the more you look at this stuff, you study this stuff, you analyze this stuff, the more you're going to be able to identify this really, really fast, right? So this is level 1. I'm not going to draw the boxes between it. It's just not worth it. But you need to understand that's a level 3 to a level 3. And obviously level 1 and 2 is taking place between that. Now, once we have a level 3, what am I looking for, guys? Once you have a level 3, once you have a new level, what are you looking for? You're looking for 2 things. You're looking for either a reset or you're looking for a move into level 1. Now, what is a confirmation of a move into level 1? This is what I traded today. Confirmation of a move into level 1 is this. Is the 13 and the 50 plus over. That's my confirmation. That's what I'm looking for. Once I've seen my 13 and 50 plus over, now what I'm looking for is the highest point price reaches before closing below the 13, which is right here. Closing below the 13 all the way down here. The level 1 consolidation, potentially, right? The potential is the level 1 consolidation. Now, why couldn't this be a reset? Why couldn't this be 3 vector candles to the low and this is called an advanced W, right? Why can't this not be a reset? Because for me, number one, based on what I've seen over and over again, it possibly could be a reset. But the only proof of this being a reset for me, right, is how the EMAs cross over. That's all I care about. Right now, my bias is to go long. My bias is to go long. My bias is to go long. The reason being is because I've had my level 3, I've had level 1 take place here, I've had my 13 to 50 plus over, I've had price dip back below the 13 EMA, I've had price now for what seems to be a reversal pattern where it can then move into potentially tomorrow. This is, so I bought it right at the bottom. So potentially tomorrow this is carry going up. Who knows? Who knows, right? But for me, my bias, because the whole point of me being able to identify levels is to have a bias. I want a directional bias. I want to know what is the ideal direction for me to trade in. What is the ideal direction for me to look for opportunities in? Now, here's the thing. I mean, on the H4, on the 4 hours, I'm in level 1. On the daily, I'm in level 3. Right? So do you guys see how the levels differ depending on, so this is level 3, depending on what time frame you're on. Right? But that's fine. They feed into each other. This is a level 3 move. What could happen on the daily level 3? Well, it's very simple. On the daily level 3, price could be anchor on the 800 EMA. Right? Price could anchor on the 800 EMA, and then you have a continuation of the price of price trending in the upward direction. That could happen on the daily, but that would also feed into my bias on the H4, which is still to go long. So it's all good. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to 1 hour, right? Now, you can analyze the levels also on the 1 hour, and you're going to get different levels on the 1 hour, but they're all going to feed into what you're going to see on the H4, on the H1. So I'm going to show you guys also how to identify on the 1 hour. So again, on the 1 hour, you can go to the most recent box you drew on the 4 hours, which is the black box, and we can look at levels within this, right? Because there are levels within this. So this could be for me a peak formation high, right? So peak formation, this is a peak formation high right there. I get my crossover just down here. I get my 50 to 30 plus 13 crossover down here. So what is the confirmation for? Confirmation for level 1. So I have my anchor up here. This is my anchor down here. It's a very ugly looking anchor, right? I told you, not all anchors are good looking. Not all anchors are going to look like a very big, beautiful M. You're going to get some ugly anchors that look like this. And that's okay, but it's still what it is, right? You know, then you have price come out of that into level 1. You know, I wait for the close right below my 13. That's the lowest point of my level 1. Bring it back up. This is the highest point it reaches. That's my level 1 consolidation. Okay, it's my level 1 consolidation. And then guess what? Price comes out of the box, right in here. And it really has a lot of momentum on the downward side. A lot of momentum coming down. So it comes down here and closes above. So guys, we have a level 3 right here, right? Where price comes into a level 1, where price will move into level 2, right? This is my level 2 consolidation. And a lot of you guys are going to get confused, but understand this is my level 2 consolidation. I'm going to show you guys something that you can use to see these levels more clearly. Because this is a consolidation, look at this, right? Consolidation. Now, once I have my level 2 consolidation, I'm looking for one more level drop. Goes into level 3. Now, coming out of level 3, what am I looking for? Coming out of level 3, I'm either looking for a reset, or I'm looking for price to go into level 1. Now, what is my level 1 confirmation? Very simple. My level 1 confirmation is where my 13 and my 50 cross over. So when these two EMAs cross over on my 1 hour chart, this is actually what I'm actually waiting for on the H1. You know, when I see these two cross over, I know that I've got level 1 locked in. I know this is definitely my level 1 move, right? So this is a level 1 move. But I haven't got that crossover yet. So I'm going to wait. You know, it could happen overnight, it could happen tomorrow, who knows, right? But the 13 to 50 crossover is my confirmation that this potentially could be level 1. And then once I get my level 1 move, what am I waiting for? I'm anticipating, you know, a close below my 13 EMA, right? I'm anticipating a W or whatever, and you know, move into level 2, and then I move into level 3. That's what I'm anticipating, right? So the main thing is my directional bias. Now, does my H1 feed into my H4, feed into my daily directional bias? Well, guess what? Yes, it does. Because on the daily, my directional bias is to go up. On the 4 hour, my directional bias is to go long. Now, on the 1 hour, my directional bias is also to go long. Now, guess what? On the 15 minutes. Even on the 15 minutes, you also have the levels taking place, right? So on the 15 minutes, what you're looking for is very simple. Like the reason why a lot of people like trading on the 15 minutes is because you have a lot more better confirmations, you know, that the levels are taking place, right? So we've had a clear level 1. The reason being is because we've had a 50 to 200 plus over on the 15 minutes. And then we're at level 2, which is our 200 and 800 plus over. And then price goes into level 3, and we're looking at an acceleration. We're looking at a separation of the moving averages, right? Separation right here as well. So that's level 3 confirmation, right? The separation of the moving averages. So on my 15, this is a confirmation of the level 3. So now what I'm looking for, so on the 15 minutes, guess what? This is a new anchor point. This is a level 3 anchor point. So I'm going to be looking at my TDI. Because look, again, what's the confirmation of an anchor, guys? I told you RSI has to be around or below my 20%. That's to be around or below my 20%. Now I'm going to look at the point where RSI dipped literally at 18%, which is right here. The RSI went below my 18% level when at exactly this point down here. And this is when my level 3 began. So this is another confirmation that I'm in level 3. All this is level 3 chart. Okay? You know, I had a look W, a red looking W today. This could be an anchor of the low, who knows? price could come back down, form a proper W before they actually take it up. That could also happen as well. Now, the thing is, as a trader, I'm prepared to profit from any one of those circumstances. Why? Because I'm understanding the possibilities of what can happen. Now, I'm going to move forward to another chart. I'm actually going to show you guys this next another chart. But does anyone have any questions? Does anyone unmute themselves or add anything or something that didn't make sense to them? You're more than welcome to do so. Or if anyone has any specific chart that you want me to look at, because that's what you're probably looking at yourself, or maybe you did your homework on that chart last night, so you just want me to look at it so you can see if it actually matches and lines up with what you did last night. So does anyone have anything that you want me to look at? Or I'm just going to go to what I want to look at. Anyone? Are you guys still here? Are you still alive? So nobody has any question? So Brad, Eric, Kyle, Shah, are you all good? Does anyone have any specific chart that you want to look at? So what do you say? So Brad said the shark fins on the TDI are confusing me on your level 3 box. Why is the shark fin confusing you? Like this, yeah, what do you mean the shark fin is confusing you? Like Brad, feel free to unmute yourself. You know, Kyle, do you ever take trades on the H11 D1 directional bias? No, no, I do not. I don't trade, I don't like trading against, especially when you have a trend like D1. Like D1 is a dominating trend. Like think about it, guys. You know, on the daily, the moves are massive, right? The moves are massive, and I don't want to get I don't want to get in the wrong direction of a massive move. So I do try to keep a line as much as possible. I try to trade in line with my D1 and H1 L1. I don't think Brian does the same thing. Brian just looks at the 15 minutes and the H1, but Brian's signature trade also doesn't. He only relies on level 1. I rely on level 1 and level 2. So yes and no. You know, you can trade in line with the D1 trend. You don't always have to. But also look at this as well. Another thing that the D1 always, and the D1 is the most reliable thing when it comes to giving me market structures. Now on the D1, what can you guys see? Like what pattern can you see potentially forming at level 3? Right, within level 3, what pattern can you see is forming right now? Does anyone actually see it? What pattern is potentially forming right now? Like, look at the TDI. Look at the sharp fin on the TDI. Close the bar, close the low. No. Right, we have a W, right? So we have a big as, we have obviously vectors, we have massive vectors to the low, and then it closes below the 13, comes up, closes above the 13, comes down, closes below the 13. We have one leg out, second leg inside. So when now, this is like amazing, right? So when like this is my direction advice to go low, right? But this is level 3, and I'm getting a W level 3. Now this could extend, you know, this second leg, guys, this second leg could extend and actually react on the 200, which I wouldn't be surprised, because that would mean this is a reset, and that would mean the long-term projection for pound as a dollar is simply to go lower, right? So the reset on the come down, reset on the 200, but this leg is still going to be inside. You know, once I get the close above the 13, like that's a solid confirmation to go low. Now, if you're someone that is just trading the daily time frame and you're waiting for these confirmations, because look, you know, hey, why not wait for a massive 200 pip move, right? You know, it's a lot of money. You know, or a massive 400 or 500 pip move, risk-free, right? With minimal risk, right? Because if you wait for this confirmed move, you're getting minimal risk. So let's imagine that you're just trading, you're not interested in any other time frame, right? You're just trading the daily time frame. So you're now waiting for price to close above the 13, and when you get that close above the 13, that's your confirmation to go long, and you go long, right? You could be waiting for weeks. You could be waiting for days. Because what could happen is, like you can see what happened here, right? For 1, 2, 3, 4, for 4 days, price literally didn't go anywhere. So for 4 days, price was consolidating. And then on day 5, you know, you sort of get an interaction with the 13. And then day 6, day 7, day 8, you finally get a close above the 13. Day 9, day 10, you get a peak above the 13. You know, you have a very nice hammer forming there as well. You know, the day 11, day 12, you finally get your second close below day 13. So this is 2 weeks now, right? You know, day 14, right? We now have a solid close below the 13. So what could prevent price from consolidating for another 2 days, right? What could prevent the price from coming lower to test this and then coming back up and then closing above the 13? Nothing, nothing. No one can predict this. We can anticipate it. We cannot predict this. We're not in the business of trying to predict where price is going, right? We're in the business of anticipating where price is going. So that's why you shouldn't be so much focused on the daily time frame. The daily time frame will give you a good directional bias on the long term. But if you're just interested in 30, 40, 50 pips, 60, like today's trade was a 30 pip trade on pound AUD. And for me, that's more than enough. You know, the standard lot size 30 pips, boom, done. So I don't need to have like 100 pips. You know, the traders that are obsessed with having 500 pips or 400 pips, and I don't care about that. I care about being profitable. I care about making money, right? And for me, making money is if I can make money of 20 pips, I can make money of 30 pips. I can make money of 40 pips, right? You know, but I'm not going to be greedy to go for like the big moves, right? When I can make money off the daily movements of price. That's why my focus, you know, is on the 15 minutes, you know, and the 1 hour. And I recommend for you as well. All right, let's look at another chart. Let's look at Euro AD. Here's another baby that I'm trading. Now Euro AD is an interesting one. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, so this is my markup of Euro AD from the daily to the H4. Now you guys are going to make me delete all of it to do it again. Actually, I'm just going to use another broker. All right, so now let's say you want to mark up your levels on Euro AD. Now, you don't always have to start on a daily, but I recommend now you guys are in the learning phase. You guys want to see how the levels play into each other. You know, how you can have on the daily, you know, you can have a beautiful, you know, a level 1 move and, you know, a level 2 move and, you know, a level 3 move, right? But then when you go into your H4, right, you know, within your H4, you know, you have your 3 level moves. So you have, you know, your H4, you have price, you know, coming down to reset. So this is a reset. I'm going to, like, when it comes to reset, the rules around it, which obviously tonight we're not going to go through, but you can see on the H4 how it actually still interacts and plays. And that's level 1, and you have level 2, and you have level 3, and then you have price resetting again and going level 1 and 2 and 3, right? And it feeds so beautifully with the daily. And even if you zoom in on the H1, right? If you zoom in even more on the H1, and on the H1 you still have the interplay of the levels. Like, this is what I want you guys to see, because then when you guys see this and understand this, you're not going to ask me questions like, okay, the pattern, like what time frame are we looking at? You know, because that question is irrelevant. It's not about what time frame you're looking at, because you can identify all of these levels on any time frame. You can find it on the daily, on the H4, on the H1, on the 15 minutes, on the 5. You can even go on the 1 minute. Show you guys in the 1 minute. You have the levels in the 1 minute. They take place on every single time frame. You know, but you guys just need to train your eyes to be able to identify this on any time frame, right? So now let's go to Euro AD analysis. Euro Aussie dollar is a great pair to trade. Great pair to trade. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to identify a peak formation low. You can see this is a head and shoulder, and you know you can have so this is how, so you can have a W. A head and shoulder is actually just another another variation of a W, just a well-looking W, right? This is your W right there, right? But it looks like a head and shoulder. So you guys know about head and shoulder, like this is obviously an example. So you can get head and shoulders on, this is another thing as well. You can get head and shoulders at peak formation. So that's the head and shoulder right there. Very nice. So anyways, we have a head and shoulder right here. So this is a peak formation low. Now coming out of a peak formation low, we're looking for a level 1 confirmation, level 1 move. Now, someone just put in a box in the comment box. What is the confirmation? What is the crossover of our level 1? What 2 EMAs are we looking to cross over to lock in and confirm that a level 1 has taken place outside of our peak formation zone? Does anyone know the answer to that question? All right, so we have 13 to 50 cross, right? Perfect, so 13 to 50 cross. Do we have that here? Of course we do. So you see this? This is our 13 to 50 cross. This is a confirmation that level 1 is taking place. Now, once we have a level 1 confirmation, we're now looking for price to now go and close below. It's level 2 confirmation. Level 2. No, level 1 consolidation. Sorry, level 1 consolidation. Right, so level 1 consolidation. So once we have that, what we're looking for, price to leave this region, leave this box, right? Comes up and actually comes down, closes, double traps, closes below. So this is now my level 2 consolidation. Right, this level is crystal clear, level 2. All right, so you have level 2 that's taking place. And again, you can look at the MAs to confirm that these levels have indeed taken place. Right, so we'll have a crossover. We have a crossover there. We have a crossover there. Right? You know, what we're looking for now is we're looking for level 3. So what happens is price comes out of there, comes down the traps here. This is our level 3, the highest credit form. The lowest credit form, where the trap below the 13, this is level 3. What happens after level 3, guys? Either a reset or continuation into new levels, right? So what happened is coming out of level 3, price came out of level 3 in here, and it came down. We had a 13 and 50 crossover. So for me, I'm going to treat this as a level 1 move. I'm going to treat this as a level 1. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to close back above my 13, or some interaction with the 13, but I'm looking for something like this. So I'm looking for this, right? This is my level 1 confirmation. That level 1 consolidation, right? About my 1350 crossover. Guess what? Price comes down out of this box, right? New levels, right? New levels, closes below my 13, closes below the 13. This is now my level 2 consolidation. Level 2. What else is my confirmation of the level 2? I have my crossover right here. I have my 30 and I have my 15 for the crossover right there. Right? 250 crossover. And then guess what? Price comes down out of my level 2 consolidation and to peak, now my level 3. Okay, now what happens after level 3? We either get a reset or we get price moving into new levels, right? So what's happening now? I don't know, let's see. So we have price come out of here. We had a crossover right here of the 13 and 50 EMAs, right here. So I could have treated this as a level 1, right? Level 1, right? I have a really nice peak here, comes below the 13, goes below the 13. So this is level 1 for me, right? Again, I have another W right here, nice W moving into outside of my box, and it moves right here, and it forms 2 levels. Now, there's the thing, comes down to my level 3, right? And it finally comes down and breaks it. So now when this happens, now I know that this is not the move. I have 2 levels here. This is definitely an anchor. It's a new anchor forming right on the 800 EMA. Right on the 800 EMA, we have an anchor forming. So this is an anchor. It's a reset. Price is reset. It's getting ready to go again, right? So we're expecting another long. So we have a massive anchor forming down here. Final close above the 13. Good to go. Now, what are we looking for once we have the anchor form? We're looking for, after the confirmed W, this is a beautiful anchor. Sometimes it can be ugly, like it was right here. Like this is one ugly as hell anchor. And sometimes it can be crisp and clear like this. Beautiful anchor, beautiful, right? You know, and then when you have this take place, you're looking for your 13 to 50 crossover, which happened at exactly this point. Now, for me, once that happens, I know that I'm in level 1 zone. So, look, guys, this is level 1 for me. Level 1. Okay, it's level 1 consolidation. Guys, if you're not getting it, just let me know, right? Comes out of my level 1 consolidation box, I know that I'm in level 2. Boom, closes above, closes below my 13. I'm level 2 consolidation. Right? Level 2 consolidation. Now I'm looking for level 3. Comes out of my box, right? Comes out of my box, and then it comes and closes. Now, the question is this, I'm going to show you guys something because these moves are very important. It's called ADR, the average range. Now, approximately level 1 should be at around the same. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it should be around the same length or distance as level 2 should be around the same length or distance as level 1, right? So this move should be at around the same length as this move, which it was. So it's level 1, right? Level 2 should be around the same move. Level 3 should be around the same distance. You see that, right? So this is my level 3 move. Level 3, right here. Now, what happens after level 3? I get a peak. I get an extra level. I get an extra level. This is called a peak. I get a peak. Now, some of you guys have probably noticed this. This is why your homework's so important, right? You could sometimes get something like this. You can get a W anchor with level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you get an extra level, which is a peak where you end forms. This is a peak, right? You call it level 4, you call it a peak, call it whatever you want, but it happens at times. You got to learn to identify it. Now, after you've identified 3 levels, don't be worried if you see an extra level, which is a peak. This is an accelerated move. But we know we're in level 3. How do we know we're in level 3, guys? How do we know that all of this is a level 3? Does anyone know the answer to that question? How do I know that I'm in level 3? How do I know I'm in a peak? What happens usually in level 3 peaks? What happens usually in level 3 peaks? What are the 3 things that could happen in a level 3 peak? What are the 3 things that could happen in a level 3 peak? You get your EMA find out, right? What are the other two? What are the other 2 alternatives? Because there's three things that are listed to you guys that could happen in a level 3 peak. So one of them is the EMA being found out. Eric, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. What are the other 2? You have your 2, so 52 800, perfect, and your 200 to 800, perfect. Brad, spot on, right? So out of the 3 of them, what happened in this situation? Look at that. We had the EMAs found out. EMAs, we had a huge acceleration into the high, right? EMAs found out, okay? Now, coming out of a peak, coming out level 3, what are we anticipating? 2 things, either a reset or a move into level 1, level 2, level 3. Oh, sugar, I just deleted my EMAs. So now coming out of the peak, we're looking for for confirmation of a level 1, which is what? 13 to 50 crossover. I get my 13 to 50 crossover. This is definitely a confirmed level 1. So now this is now my level 1 consolidation. Take it from the lowest point up until there, level 1 confirmation. coming out of the consolidation box. I see a very sharp move into level 2, right? Sharp move into level 2. This is a consolidation zone right here. Sharp move into level 2 down here, consolidate down here, level 2 consolidation. A variation to the theme. And then I see an acceleration towards the low. There's a massive acceleration towards the low. It's level 3. And if you're in doubt on the levels, guys, if you're in doubt on where you are, check out the RSI. Check out the RSI. At this peak, where was the RSI sitting? It was sitting at 80%. Right at the peak, it was sitting at 80%. Which is the confirmation of a peak formation low, peak formation high, level 3. At this level 3, where was the RSI sitting? Boom, right around 23% level, near the 20% level. So if in doubt, check out the RSI. And sometimes at level 3s, you're also going to get RSI coming outside of the Bollinger Bands. So this is what also sometimes you're going to see. You're going to see at level 3, you're going to see, imagine this is the Bollinger Band, you're going to see price shoot out of the Bollinger Band. The reason because of acceleration. Because at level 3s, you're going to sometimes have massive acceleration, price accelerating really, really fast. And what that does, it pushes the RSI outside of these bands. Okay? So if in doubt on the level, you can always check the RSI. RSI always gives very solid confirmation of when you're in level 3. Now, moving out of this level 3, what do we have here? I don't know if you guys can see the pattern. Does anyone see what's forming here? Does anyone see what's forming here? Does anyone tell me what's forming right now? So out of level 3, 2 things can happen. You can either have a reset, or you can have a continuation of the trend, or a reversal, a complete reversal of the trend. So right now, what do you guys think is taking place? A reversal or a reset? A reset. How absolutely right. Now, why is it a reset, Carl? What is your major reason why this is a reset? What is the main reason why you believe this is a reset? You can unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Carl. I believe everyone, wait, let me allow participants to unmute themselves. So I've just allowed participants to unmute themselves. No, but take a guess, Carl, because based on what I've said, why do you think it's a reset? You can't unmute yourself and just explain. Like, there isn't a right or wrong. I'm not here to criticize you, right? You're here to learn. No, I've unmuted. So what I've done is I've now unmuted. I've made it possible for you to unmute yourself. So you can now unmute yourself. Who's drawing on my screen? What's this?
Yeah. Oh. So I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like a big M, which to me looks like a big anchor.
Okay. Looks like, right? It looks like a big anchor. That's absolutely right. Right. A new anchor is usually going to be, or a reset is going to be, look like an MLW. What are the other reasons? Where is the M taking place on? What is the M taking place on? Carl, what's the M taking place on level 3 peak? Now, the answer to that question I was looking for is taking place on the 50 EMA, right? On the 50 EMA, because remember this, your reset would happen on the 50, either on the 50, on the 800, or the 200 EMA. That's a huge confirmation that a reset is taking place, right? So it is a reset, okay? Now, it's a reset, our bias is to go down. So what we're looking for, the first thing we're looking for is a confirmation of a level 1, which is a 13 and 50 crossover. Once we have a confirmation of a level 1, we're not looking for, very simple, right? A consolidation. Now, guys, I'm gonna let someone else. So I'm gonna pick Eric, right? Eric, where do you think the consolidation after level 1 is? Eric, where do you think consolidation after level 1 is? Eric, can you hear us? Eric. Or I'm going to pick Brad now. Brad, when do you think the level one ends? What do you think our consolidation after level one begins? You can unmute yourself, guys. You know, I'm just going to unmute all of you so you can know how to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, Eric, I can hear you now. Eric.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the 50 crosses the 200.
Where the 50 crosses the 200. Yeah, so where the 50 crosses the 200, absolutely. This is the confirmation that level 2 is taking place. Now the question is, where is our level 1 consolidation going to begin? So where is the lowest point level 1 reach? Where am I going to draw my box?
When it goes back up above the 13.
When it goes back up above the 13.
Yeah.
So right here?
Yeah.
So this is for you where your level 1 consolidation begins?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to go with that. Now I'm going to go with this. Personally, I would have gone for a year, but I'm going to go with this. Okay? Because like I said, how we identify levels may be different. But what matters is we're able to make money from it, right? So let's imagine that this is now, so this is the lowest point. Price came up here. This is now our level 1 consolidation. And it trapped through there, it came here, and they finally took it over down here. So let's imagine it's a level 1 consolidation, right? This is a level 1 consolidation. Okay, now where would level 2? So now price is now in level 2 coming out of consolidation. Where would level 2 consolidation begin? So this time I'm going to pick Brad to show me or let me know where would you draw your box for level 2? So Brad, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes. So
right, okay. Level 2 would be the 5200 crossover, which happens all the way over on.
You know, you can draw on the screen, so you can annotate. Are you on your laptop?
Yes, I am.
But you can annotate on the screen. Just request permission, and I'm going to approve it for you to do it.
Right. I can't see an option to annotate.
So if you're on your desktop, you're going to be able to just annotate on the screen.
Right. Okay. Right. No, I can't see any way to annotate. I'm afraid, Walter.
Yeah, no worries. That's all good. All right. So level 2 consolidation begin here. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to take you back up right there. Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because then you've got the 200, 800 crossover just to the right for level 3.
Perfect. You know, so we got the 200, 800 just in time for level 3. Right here. Right. So now we have level 3. Now this is a peak. We're level 3 now. We're level 3 now. Right. All right, now coming out of level 3, what are the 2 things that we're anticipating?
Either anchor, either reset or continuation.
Exactly. So we're looking for a reversal, right? So we're looking for a reversal of the current trend, or we're looking for a reset where price continues in the direction it's already going. So it continues going down. So right now, price is going down. So those are the 2 things that we are anticipating. Now, coming out of level 3, the first thing I'm looking for is my 30 to 50 crossover. That's the first thing I'm looking for, guys. Right? I'm looking for this cross. Right? So it happened right there. Now, once this cross has happened, I know for sure, okay, this could be a level 1. This could be a level 1. So I'm gonna take it from down here. I'm going to take it then to the low. I'm going to have a level 1. Now, for those of you confused about where the W is down here, right? This is called an advanced W, okay? Let me just actually, just to save you guys getting confused, right? What's the time now? It's 9:28. All right, so there's 2 types of M's and W's that you're gonna come across, right? One of them is called a confirmed M and W. This is what we taught you at the workshop, right? You have a confirmed M. We have confirmed M/W. So if you guys remember the close above, close below, close above, crossover, right? So on a confirmed M and W, right? Let's just take a W for example, right? On the confirmed M and W, what you're anticipating is for price to close above and to close below the 13 EMA. Okay, so you're looking for something like this. So you're looking for price to come down, accelerate downwards, close below the 13, close above the 13, close below the 13, and a final close above the 13, and that's usually where we enter the market in a position. Okay, now in a confirmed .M, right? In a confirmed M, right? You're looking for price to pretty much do the same thing, right? Price to pretty much do the same thing. To close above, to close below, to close above, and then come down. And that close below is literally where we enter the market. Now, that's the confirmed M and W. Now, the second is advanced M and W. Now, some of you guys probably have seen these M's and W's before, okay? They do happen. It's actually right in front of our eyes right now, so I'm just going to explain what it is to you. So, with a W, an advanced W, we're going to have a situation where price comes down, right? And it gives you a very nice close. It gives a very nice close below the 13. However, let me just do this. However, it doesn't cross. So it comes down. It doesn't cross the 13. It interacts with the 13. It doesn't cross it, it just interacts with it, right? It doesn't cross it, it just interacts with the 13. And you can also have the same thing as an M, where with an advanced M, it doesn't cross the 13, it just interacts with it. I'm just going to drag this one over here. So with an advanced M, it doesn't cross the 13, it just interacts with it, okay? So check this out, okay? Check this out. So this you can see is an advanced W right here. So we have price comes below the 13. It doesn't cross it, it interacts it. It comes below, and then it comes up and gives you a close above. Now, how can you easily identify these? You can easily identify these in the TDI. Because on the TDI, you're still going to get your sharp fin outside of the band. You're going to get the first leg outside of the band. You're going to get your second leg inside of the band. You're also going to get your price crossing. So you see this red line is called the trigger line. Let's imagine that this trigger line is the 13 EMA on the TDI. Just imagine it, right? You're still going to get your close below, close above, close below, and then close above on the TDI. But you're not going to get it on there, but you're going to get it on here. And this is a confirmation of, so actually it comes down here. This is your first leg, comes up, second leg, and then it comes up. This is your confirmation of your advanced W. That's just something to just mention for now. It's not a big deal. Like, if you don't really get it, that's fine. But you're going to come across M's and W's that do not necessarily close all the time above. But you're going to be looking at the TDI for the confirmation of the advanced W. But anyways, moving back to where we were. So now we're in level 1 right here. right? You guys remember clearly we're level 1 right now, level 1 consolidation. Now, coming out of level 1 consolidation zone, price goes into level 2. Now, here's what happens, right? Price moves into level 2, comes up, comes in high there, and then comes down and then closes down here. Okay? Closes down here. So this is my level 2 confirmation. Again, I also have a solid crossover of my 250 EMA, my level 2 confirmation. Okay? Now, again, what I'm waiting for is for price to break this box, right? So break my consolidation zone and go into level 3. So I'm going to extend this. As long as price is in level 2 consolidation, my bias is still on the long side. My bias is still price is going to go up. So what happens is price actually then comes up and forms a level 3 right here. It comes up, comes a high, comes down, and this is a level 3. And again, guys, what are the 2 things that you anticipate after level 3? You can either anticipate a reset on either the 200, the 50, or the 800, or you can anticipate a reversal, a full-on reversal, okay? So now let's imagine that price came out of this box, and we're looking at this real time, right? We saw price cross over here. So we assume this was a level 1, okay? So we saw, this is one of the reasons why we trade. So the trade that you guys are taught is the level 2 trade. So you have a level 1 confirmation and then trade level 2, but we're gonna go into that detail tomorrow, right? On the Q short trade. So let's imagine that this is now your level 1 lock confirmation. So now you're looking for price to go up and come back. So now you're looking at, this is the high, and price comes back in, this is the low, and now you're looking for a level 2. So price now goes up, forms a level 2 there. You're looking at, this is the high of the level 2, and this is the low. But now what happens is price now breaks below that and comes all the way down to a 200 EMA. And what does it do on the 200 EMA? It forms an advanced W on the 200 EMA. Forms an advanced W on the 200 EMA. You can see it down here, right? There's below, there's above, there's one leg out the band, one leg in the band, right? Forms an advanced W. Now, this is a clear evidence that this is a reset, right? So now if you were thinking this was level 2, now you know that it's not level 2. You know that price is most likely going to continue moving on the upside. So this is a reset. A reset. So now once your reset has taken place, this is now your new anchor. This is now your new low of this cycle, right? So if price breaks this cycle, this low of the cycle, you know that the cycle is now over. Okay, so this is a new low. So now what's the first thing we're looking for? We're looking for the 13 to 50 cross, right? The 13 to 50 cross, which happens down here. This is level 1. We have the high of level 1 consolidation down here, very clean. Level 1 consolidation, super clean. Someone has a question. I don't get why this is a reset, not a level 2. I don't get why this is a reset and not a level 2. Who said that? How? So this could be a reset, this could be a level 2. Now, that's actually a good point. The reason I'm treating this as a reset is because on my RSI, I'm getting a 16%. So this is 16%. Like this is a very, very massive low, right? So I'm getting an extreme on my RSI. That's why I'm treating this as a reset, right? Or I see what you mean. This could be a massive level 2. Yeah, you could have that as well. Because at the end of the day, it didn't break this low, right? So this is a level 3, and there's a level 1. There's level 3, level 1 is down here. What's my this is my anchor, right? It's my anchor down here. That's the low of the anchor. It didn't break that low, so could have a level 2 and move it into level 3. But for me, I'm treating it as a reset because number 1, it happened on the 200 EMA, and number 2, I'm getting an extreme low on my RSI. Those are two very important things, right? So the low and also where this is actually taking place. As I positioning is one of the contexts that I mentioned, because if you're not looking at the positioning of things and the timing of things, you could interpret things a little bit differently. Okay, so could be level 2. Who knows? You could be right, no doubt, right? You can extend this as level 2, and yeah, you know, you're looking for price to come out of this area, and you know, finally it does properly up here. So you could say this is level 2, and you need to say this is level 3, right? From there up into there, or this is level 3 consolidation. That's a possibility, right? But what I said was this. So where's my UAD? So this is my UAD. So on the daily, so my analysis was actually, so this is my analysis on UAD. So this is the resets down here. So I said this was a reset. This is level 1 consolidation. This is level 2, level 1 consolidation goes into level 2, right? And so this is my new low. And then it actually comes down. So I actually said this was level 2. So my actual analysis, I said this is level 2. And then coming out of that into level 3. And from level 3, this was my reversal. So my level 3 reversal. And then on my daily, on my actual analysis on UAD, UAD is a level 1 right now. Because why? Because I've got the crossover just right here. So 1350 crossover. So 20 and 80% fins on the TDI. Can I get clarifications on what these represent? I thought it represents a reset or reversal. It doesn't represent a reset or reversal. No, you don't just get a reset every time you get a 20% or an 80%. Extreme levels, remember this, timing is key. If you're having, so let's say you have, okay, 1 second, let me just undo this. So now look at this. So let's say this is level 3. So I'm saying this is level 3. Now, within the context of this being level 3, what is my confirmation that I'm looking for? I'm looking for an expansion of my moving averages. But the second thing I'm looking for is an extreme of my RSI, which is right here. So around my 80%, around my 50%. So RSI, my level 3 is exactly right, 75%, which is perfect, which is near my 80% level. So I'm looking for these extremes, right? And it's also outside of the band. Again, guys, all about context, right? It's all about context. You know, just saying the RSI is around 80% or around 20% doesn't mean anything if you're not interpreting it in the right context. Okay, so I interpret it in my level. I need a confirmation this is level 3. So Carl made an amazing point, right? So on my analysis I did earlier today, exactly the same pair, right? You know, I'm seeing 2 different things at 2 different times, right? So right now I said, okay, this is a reset. This is level 1. So this is going to be level 1, right? I get my 1350 cross over there, right? I was going to say this is now my level 1 consolidation, right? This is level 2. Now, what would that have meant for me, right? If this is now level 2, okay, I get my 50 and I get my 200 cross over somewhere around there. They actually don't cross over, they just touch. Right, this is now my level 2. I would now be looking at this as a level 2 consolidation, right? I'll be looking at this as a level 2 consolidation, and that would mean that my bias on EURAD would have been to look for price to go up 1 more level. But that would have been my bias, right? This is a level 2 consolidation. But right now, let's get rid of all of that. But right now, this is level 3. And from what I can see, this is a level 1 move and a level 1 consolidation. So my bias is actually a short. So this would have given me 2 different biases, and bias is a short. But then how would I know that my bias is wrong? Very simple. If I see price actually make an accelerated move and keeps moving in the upward direction, let's go ahead and do that. So if I see price actually make an accelerated move from here, outside of this box into the upward direction, then I would actually change this to now be level 2 instead of level 3. Does that make sense? So I'm going to let price, but right now my trading bias is low. So the confirmation I'm looking for on the lower time frame, on the 1 hour and 15 minute time frame, is on confirmation of where of the levels price is in. And right now, if I go on the H1, if I go on the 1 hour time frame, this is a reset. This is level 1. This is level 2. So again, my bias on the 1 hour time frame is a short, right? If I go on the 4 hours time frame, which I've also done my analysis on, right? On the 4 hour time frame, this is a reset right here coming out of the level 3 move down here, comes into a reset right on the 800 EMA, right? This is now level 1 coming out of that, level 2 coming out of that, potentially now moving into level 3. So look, guys, right? The whole point of being able to identify levels is to get a bias on what direction to trade. But this bias is only going to help you on the smaller time frame, on the 15 minutes and the 1 hour time frame, which is where you should also be looking to identify the levels that price is moving. But right now, what I've shown you guys is identifying levels using the confirmations of the moving average, because moving average confirmation is probably one of the most strongest confirmations that you're going to get of whenever you're within a level. So for example, this is the confirmation of level 1. This is a confirmation of level 1, 30 to 50 crossover. This is a confirmation of level 2. So what I'm waiting for right now, what I'm looking for right now is for my 50 and my 200 to cross over. Now, once my 50 and 200 cross over, guess what? This is my confirmation that this is actually level 2. Right? I'm within a level 2 period within price. So that's going to give me a stronger confirmation that I'm interpreting price within the right level. So that's going to give me added confidence that my bias on this should still be to go short. But if I don't get a crossover and it comes back up again, then that could mean the alternative view of this actually on the daily being level 2, being level 3 could be the right confirmation instead. Does that make sense, guys? So does anyone have any question, or do you want me to look at any other charts? If you do, let me know what one, and I'll look at it. If you have any questions, unmute yourself and ask me whatever the question you have. All good? Eric, you muted yourself. Do you have any questions?
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, no, I don't have any question. I'm trying to take it
All right, is there anything that anyone is confused on? So is there anything that's confusing anyone? Because tomorrow I'm going to cover because the kill shot trade, right? So the reason why, this is why it's important to identify levels, because I'm going to show you guys the kill shot. This is what Brian showed you guys in the workshop. This is the this is the type of trade. So can you clarify how after level 3, you look for a continuation, reset, or a reversal? Perfect. So now, I'm going to answer your question in a second, Carl. So this is what I'm going to show you guys tomorrow, okay? Because now what we're looking for is to trade the moves that will yield the highest probability, okay? So that'll yield the highest probability of profit, or that'll give us the high probability of a win, right? Now, when we're going from a peak formation low, so I'll go back to this. So let's go, we've come from a peak formation low right here. Now we have price actually moving into level 1. Now the Q short trade is this, because what's actually happened here is this. Price accelerated down. Now this acceleration on the downside, created a lot of demand for people to short. Okay, so this acceleration is incentivizing people to short. Okay, now after you have the acceleration, you have a pullback. Now, what this does, it confirms people's technical trade. So, and then when price comes down low, more people are going short in this situation. Okay, so this is a build up of orders. So the whole point of this move is to build up orders, to collect orders, to build up orders. Because guys, without orders, there is no liquidity, right? Without orders, there isn't you cannot get liquidity in the market, and Forex is the most liquid financial market. So you need liquidity, right? So you need to build up the orders. So the whole point of this is to create liquidity, to build up orders. Now, once the market makers have the contracts that they need in this region, they then take it away, and they take it away very aggressively. So what that leaves is a lot of lower, is a lot of short holders down here, lower order short holders. So a lot of people that are holding on to short positions down here, accumulation of short order contracts down here. Now, people are holding on to this trade. They're probably holding on to it for a day or 2 days, hoping or anticipating that price could come down and relieve them from the loss or actually keep going downwards, right? Now, this is level one. So we know, we that are versed in the way of market making, right? We know this is level one, right? So we know that this is the low. Now, this is where the Q-short trade comes in. Once you've identified your anchor, or your peak formation low, once you've identified your anchor or your peak formation low, once you've identified your level one, this is now where you're looking for an opportunity to go long. How? It's very simple. You're gonna have a consolidation. Now, there are 3 different things that can happen. And we've seen this, like we know these are the 3 different things that can happen, right? So the first thing that can happen is you're gonna have and the next day you're gonna have price going down. Again, what does this do? Again, it creates more short order contracts, more people looking to go short. People that are down here are probably thinking, now price is actually coming down. Now we're going to be relieved of the loss. Now we're going to see a bit of profit. They bring it back up. Again, this confirms the technical analysis. Looking at an ABCD move, they bring it back down. This incentivizes more people to go short. Now, what you have is a massive build-up of short order contracts. Once you have this build-up of short order contracts, the only way price is going is up. Price is going to get out of there and it's going to do it very fast. This is why these are the best trades that you can place. Because price gets out of there and it does it very fast. Very fast. So you have your level 2. So this is the trade that we teach you. We teach you guys to identify this trade, to get in at these moves, because these moves would yield you not only the highest probability of booking a profit, but you also yield you the largest move in the market maker cycle. Okay, so this is called a Q-short trade or safety trade. So this is one variation, right? This is a variation we're going to be teaching. This is a variation we identify. There are 2 other variations. Now let's imagine that there's already enough contracts collected. They don't even want to allow anyone to relieve or to see a profit or relieve anyone of the position. What they're going to do the next day, they're not going to bring it back down. They're just going to take it away as far away as they can possibly from this region. So no short contract there. That's called a type 2 trade. Or what they're going to do is they're going to take it away in Asia. And in London, they're going to bring it back down 50% of Asia, and they're going to take it away again. This is a third variation. Okay, so we're going to be teaching you guys these variations, but like these trade, this is the trade. Don't try to identify the lows. Like this is where you're going to be losing money. If you're trying to trade a peak formation lows, thinking that I'm going to make the most money if I can find the low, that yes, like the people that master this kind of trading, that's fine. But trying to right now at this stage, trying to identify the peaks, trying to identify the high peaks and the low peaks, do not do that. This is where a lot of money will be lost if you try to do that. This is where you're going to have your stop loss hit. This is where you're going to be seeing your account being used for a few days. Don't do that. Wait for your confirmed level 1. Because after the level 1 is taking place, there's only one direction price is going, and that's up. So let me answer Carl's question. So Carl asked me, can you clarify after level 2 look for a continuation, a reset, or a reversal? A continuation, reset, reversal. Very simple. It's very simple. So after level 3 is taking place, right? What do I look for? I look for a 13 and a 50 crossover. That's what I look for. Where's my 13 EMA? Oh, where's my, okay. So the first thing I look for is for a 13 and a 50 crossover. Now, once I get a 13 and 50 crossover, How do I know if I expect it to continue or to reverse? Because it takes place. Okay, so check this out. If you have something like this, you have a level 3, right? And it comes down, and you have it crossover, okay? And it comes down another level, because usually this would come down one full level, okay? So you have, it comes down twice, okay? Now, it comes down twice, so price has been going up, so price has been trading up, okay? Price has been trading up. Now, two things can happen. Either you're gonna get one, level 2 and level 3, or you're gonna get a reset. Now, I know a reset is taking place instead of the continuation, level 1, because this pattern is going to be forming on either the 200, the 800, or the 50 EMA. That's the first reason. The second reason, is because at level 2, you can trade both directions. At level 2, you can trade up or you can trade down. But you know a reset is taking place if on the TDI, you can see an extreme low. So you can see this is actually taking place, and at the same time, price is at an extreme low of the 20%. Then you know that this is highly likely that this is a reset, and it's probably going to go up for 3 levels. So it's going to continue going up for 3 levels, right? So what you're going to look for after this is, again, you're going to look for the crossover of the 30 and the 50 taking place. So after this pattern has taken place, you see a 30 and 50 crossover, you take that trade. That's your level 1 trade. That's your Q-shot trade. You take your trade. There you take profit. But here's the thing. Regardless of what goes on, if you just look for your Q-shot trade, you're going to make profit in either scenarios. Because let's say after this is taking place, you have your level 1 confirmation. Now you're looking for your Q-shot trade right there. You enter there, you book your profit. But now let's say that this is taking place. You've seen this is level 1, and this is your reset now, rather than a level 2 consolidation. Guess what? If this is level 1, what are you looking for? You're looking for your Q-shot trade right there. So regardless of what happens, if you're waiting for level 1 to take place before you place your trade, regardless of what happens, you're going to make a profit. You're going to identify the right trade. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to go through the Q-shot. You have a one-to-one move sometimes, absolutely. So sometimes you can have this. So sometimes you can have an M, level 1, level 2, back to level 1, and then it comes down. But as long as it doesn't break the peak, as long as it doesn't break the high of the peak, you still have a confirmed level 2. You still have a confirmed level 2. If it breaks the high of the peak, then the trend, the cycle is over. This could potentially be a reset. Most likely going to be a reset. But sometimes we have a 1, 2, and level 2 goes back to level 1. So does that make sense, Carl, what I just explained? So you can have a 1-to-1 where you have level 1, level 2, price goes back to retest level 1. And like I mentioned earlier, sometimes you can have price go back all the way to the peak. But as long as it doesn't break the peak, as long as it doesn't break the peak, you still have a level 2, right? You still have a level 2. When it breaks the peak, you don't have a level 2 anymore. You're not looking at a reset. Okay? You're not looking at a reset. So guys, we got up to 9:46, 9:57. It's taking nearly 2 hours. Good. We started at, not 2 hours actually, but started at 8 o'clock. Now it's moving on to 10. It's actually every 2 hours. So does anyone have any questions? Because I'm going to start wrapping this up. So tomorrow, we can go through the Q-shot trade, identifying the Q-shot trade. Does anyone have any questions? So Eric, Paul, or Shah? So I'm going to give you guys some homework tonight, okay? The homework is very simple. It's for tomorrow. I want you guys to go on your daily, and I want you to identify the levels of your daily, like I showed you, on MT4, by the way, not on TradingView. So identify levels on it. Like, I want you to send me something like this, right? Identify your levels on the daily, and then identify your levels on the H4, 4 hours, right? I want you to send me your daily and H4. I just want to see your higher time frame analysis of the levels. That's it for now. Okay? So send me your daily, send me your 4 hours analysis of the levels. I want to see the levels within the levels, exactly like this, right? I want you to do that for me for Euro USD and for Pound USD. So go on the daily for Euro USD and Pound USD, and I've already done it for Pound USD myself. As you can see, I've done it for most majors. This is what I do on Sunday nights. Right? This is what I do on Sunday nights. I sit down on Sunday nights, identify these levels, and for the rest of the week, all I'm doing is trading the levels. That's it. So identify these levels on the daily and the 4 hours on the Pound USD and the Euro USD, and take a screenshot of it on MT4 and send it directly to me. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. sharp. If any questions, do not hesitate to put it in the WhatsApp group or just drop me a message. Have a good night, guys.